But first, with an hour so full of exciting incident, let's make a start by going to Upton Park for West Ham's meeting with West Bromwich Albion. And there's no doubting who the hero of the moment is down there.
Well, here's Billy Bonds. At 31, he's in the England squad for the World Cup game against Italy on Wednesday, and he seems certain to play. A worthy reward for an inspiring captain and an honest and modest professional. But if it's been a wonderful week for Billy Bonds, it's also been one to remember for his fellow West Ham player, John McDowell. 19 months out of the team through injury, back in the squad today as a substitute. Landmark of another sort for Tony Brown of West Bromwich Albion. One of the most reliable goal scorers over the years. He's already got 10 again this season, today playing his 500th league game for the club. But perhaps the most interesting character in the Albion setup, Cyril Regis, formerly with Hayes, but how well he's found his feet in the First Division this season. Today he's the Albion sub. So the teams line up like this. West Ham with a late change forced on them. John Radford is not fit, and Alan Kirbishley comes in at number 9. More goal-scoring pressure, presumably, on Derek Hales. He's got 3 so far for the Hammers. As for West Bromwich Albion, third in the table, beaten only 3 times this season, but all of them have been away from home, and the last of them was at Queen's Park Rangers last month. A team with 2 wingers, Laurie Cunningham, formerly from nearby Orient, and Willie Johnston, a valuable member of the Scottish World Cup squad. And by coincidence, 2 men named Brian Robson. Here's the West Ham version, and here's Brian Robson of West Bromwich Albion. The referee today is Eric Reid of Bristol, and now we're ready for the start. So off we go then. West Ham in their claret and blue and white shorts, attacking the goal to our left. Albion in their stripes. Albion, who come here in 3rd place. West Ham, incredibly, yet to win a league game here in front of their own crowd this season. Mulligan. But Derek Hales getting in very quickly to stop Albion making any progress up there. A throw to them, though. Here's Laurie Cunningham. A bundle in the back from Paul Brush. And Tony Brown with the Albion free kick. No, he's going to leave it for Paddy Mulligan. On the far side, Derek Statham. 18 years old. And quite a prospect. Robson playing it on for him. Statham coming on. And again, it's Brush in there quickly for West Ham when that situation was beginning to develop. Oh, Laurie Cunningham there. The ball just skating away from him, though, for a goal kick to West Ham. Tempted to think that the temporary England manager there at the back in the director's box is looking closely at Billy Bonds. Crowd urging him on. Here's Trevor Brooking, and he's got someone wide. He's got Jeff Pike wide. Hit well first time, just over. A nice sweeping run there by West Ham, and it really began to look good for them when Trevor Brooking took it up. Pike was placed well wide of him, took it well first time, but always just going that little bit over. It's a good long one there, and it was headed behind by David Cross for a West Ham corner, which Tommy Taylor will take. Bonds in a bit of space. In fact, they're going to wait for Devonshire to take the corner towards the near post. Very nearly got in there. Alistair Robertson, in fact, got to it first. Devonshire again, hit in low this time, and it's another corner. And having had a sleet shower early on, we've now got rain mixed with sleet, with about 5 minutes of sunshine mixed in between it. Devonshire again with the corner. A long one. Oh, and he's a half, and he got that away. And Brooking had another go. Claims for a handball there, given. Penalty. John Weil furious with his goalkeeper, Tony Gordon. And a handball there gives a penalty for West Ham. Brooking had a tremendous shot, and in the flurry that followed it, an Albion player handled it there. So a penalty for West Ham. Robson to take it. Can Gordon keep him at bay? It's a goal, 1-0 to West Ham. Well, Gordon dived all right, but Robson was always going to beat him with that one. Cantello with the kick. Curled in very nicely indeed. This could be the equaliser. Oh, my word, a good save, though, by Mervyn Day from David Cross. Ball curling in there, bounced invitingly for Cross, and Day was nicely behind it. So Willie Johnston's taking it. Free kick to Albion. Cantello curling that kick in. Cunningham was on the end of it. Brown is right in there as well. And overhead, oh, great save. David Cross, a tremendous overhead kick there. Brown, who put it in the first place. But a tremendous bit of acrobatics there by David Cross. Acrobatics that were matched by Mervyn Day. So it's a corner for Albion. Tony Brown with it. That's the goal, and it's gone to Weil. So West Ham was saved for only a moment or two with that save by Mervyn Day, because as Brown's corner came in, John Weil was right up there, and the tall man put it wide of Mervyn Day. Statham, Robertson, stopped by Hales. Played in for Brooking. But Weil, the man who scored. Now Cantello. Mulligan. Here's Bonds. Tony Brown cutting it out though. Here's Mulligan. Cunningham. Still with Cunningham. Oh, he did so well there. And that's another one. That time it's by Weil yet again. And so 2 goals in a matter of 3 minutes by West Bromwich Albion. But that was made, although it's scored by John Whale, made by the man he's congratulating there, Laurie Cunningham. A really good run by him. He took it to the byline, whipped across a very strong centre indeed, and Weil was on the end of it, into the back of the West Ham net again. Cantello. Mulligan. Robson. And here's Jeff Pike. Wooden Pike comes through to Brooking, but Hales is after Robertson and took him rather wildly from behind, I think. A little bit of the revenge motive coming out there, because Robertson has dealt rather harshly with 1 or 2 West Ham players, and the referee having a word with Derek Hales. Mike. Brookie. Hales is up and so is Robson. Oh, Brooking found Devonshire well. Oh, Devonshire with a chance of a shot, deflected in! Probably off Robertson, but I think Alan Devonshire will say that's my goal, and it puts West Ham back level at 2-2. He's played so well again today, Alan Devonshire, and it was always on for something when he cut inside and he let it go. And it deflected wildly past Tony Gordon. West Ham 2, West Bromwich Albion 2. Offside. Here's Mulligan. Brooking hustling Mulligan into an error, and what a beautiful ball played for Hales, except that Statham came across and did a good defending job for West Bromwich Albion. But that really is, I suppose in many ways, a new side of Trevor Brooking. He's become that much more aggressive, and he hustled Mulligan into that error, and having made a lot of ground there, made a lovely pass for Hales. Amazing to think that West Ham haven't won a league game here, as I told you earlier on, but that their average attendance is still something in the region of 26,000. So certainly it's a good faithful support that West Ham have got here. Now here's David Cross taking it to the byline. Dangerous cross there. Cunningham's there. That's a goal. Laurie Cunningham, and West Ham are behind again. Cross getting that ball by the byline, and what a good centre it was by him. Laurie Cunningham getting up. That's going to be a West Ham. No, it's not. Billy Johnston down there, taking it up again for Albion. Good ball played to Brian Robson. And a lovely little chip to the far side. Cunningham again there with a header. Beautifully played by West Brom. Johnston playing his part, Robson taking it up, and what a lovely floated cross that was. And Cunningham putting it over. And time beginning to become rather a precious commodity for West Ham. About 11 minutes left. Brooking, a beautiful touch for Pike. Now, will that come for Hales? Oh, and it's there! And it's Devonshire again. And they've pulled it back to 3-3. Well, Tony Gordon beaten. And what a cruel life it is for a goalkeeper. There's twice he's beaten by deflections, and twice it'll be Alan Devonshire who claims the goal. Looked as though Hales had his shot, indeed had it charged down. It came to Devonshire, and then it was deflected into the West Bromwich Albion net. Albion with Robson. Oh, and here's Tony Brown. And a brilliant piece of keeping there by Mervyn Day. Brown was through and incredibly left unmarked. Great shot on goal, a great save by Mervyn Day brings this 3-3 draw to an end. And in the end, maybe with those little flurries right at the finish, John Wiles' 2 goals certainly for West Brom looked as though they put West Ham in trouble. And the other one coming from Laurie Cunningham. With West Ham scorers, Robson and 2 from Devonshire. But that flurry right at the end and that save by Mervyn Day might well feel that West Ham were not lucky, certainly, but they must have been glad that that final whistle came when it did. Billy Bonds going in. Will his next game be against the Italians?
But first we have to make a start at Upton Park for the game between West Ham United and Leicester City. And for West Ham's Bobby Ferguson, it was a very special day.
Bobby Ferguson steps into the place left by Mervyn Day, dropped as the West Ham goalkeeper. Only Ferguson's second game in the first team in 4 seasons, and his first since he faced Aston Villa here 2 seasons ago. And George Armstrong, so long an Arsenal favourite, is back in London and in the Leicester side after injury. And what about that beard? This then is the West Ham side lying 19th in the table for this important game. Derek Hales returns after a stomach virus trouble, and Jeff Pike goes to the substitutes bench. West Ham, in fact, with a very good record here against Leicester City over the last 10 seasons. Leicester, meanwhile, they're in bottom place. They go into the vital game without defender Alan Woolwick and experienced Keith Weller, both injured. In fact, they've got a long injury list. John Samuels is back in midfield alongside former Londoners Eddie Kelly and Steve Kember. David Webb, we remember him well in London, is in the back 4. And watch out too for Roger Davis, newly signed from Belgium. He's up front amongst the attackers. The referee today is Cliff Maskell. He comes from Cambridge. And now we're just about ready for the start. Leicester City attacking the goal to our right in white shirts and blue shorts. West Ham in their claret and blue and white shorts. Here's Roger Davis, stopped by Frank Lampard. Brooking, almost a cup-tie atmosphere about this one, so vital to both of them in the basement of the First Division. And a sharp shower of rain about a quarter of an hour ago will keep the surface glistening and the ball moving quickly. Here's Mark Wallington, Leicester City goalkeeper. Leicester's problem is not so much at that end, at the other end. They've scored just 9 goals in 23 games this season. And only once have they scored more than 1 in a game, and that was against Ipswich. So Wallington with the kick for Leicester. Hughes, a bundle in the back there, but not given. Down a little bit lucky. Robson unable to turn with it. Top scorer with 6 for West Ham, although David Cross got 7 for West Bromwich Albion before he moved here. Another massive kick by Ferguson, putting Webb under pressure. Williams. In the air. Here's Frank Lampard. Robson. Lampard. Furbishley being harassed by Samuels. Here's Brooking again, looking to get it onto the right foot, measuring up that cross again towards David Cross. Got up there, hung in the air, but Webb beat him away, not far. Here's McDowell. Left foot shot, he goes! Over the last 2 or 3 years of John McDowell, he's forced his way back into the side. What a left foot shot that was. Wallington diving to his right, hadn't a hope. Again, Billy Bonds missed out on that one. In the race for that one, Kemble was sent tumbling by Devonshire. Here's Devonshire now. Chase that, he says to Robson. Hales is right in there too, and Robson getting it on Sims there, so making a few mistakes now, Leicester. Brooking's right in there, taking that nicely into his mark. Oh, and saved! And saved again! And saved again! Well, a superb piece of keeping by Wallington. Brooking, a tremendous shot that Wallington stopped but couldn't hold, and Robson was in there like a dart. But again, Wallington foiled him. Hughes, Eddie Kelly. Williams. Hughes again. Beaten by Brooking. Cross up, Hales up, Robson up. And Hales through there from that Brooking pass. And he always makes it count. 2-0. Derek Hales. Cross come across. And Brooking coming across to congratulate him. Hales in the limelight. But it was Brooking's beautiful pass right through the middle that split Leicester asunder. And when Hales gets into that sort of position, he very rarely misses. West Ham 2, Leicester City 0. 31 minutes gone. Brooking it is with the corner. And it was Williams who got it away. Brooking again in there first for West Ham. There's another of his crosses going in. That time Rofe got it away with a really powerful header. Dow as Leicester come out. And he's onside. Brooking is okay. He can get this across with 3 West Ham players right in there. Including oh, great piece of goalkeeping by Wallington. Tremendous piece of goalkeeping by Mark Wallington, the Leicester City keeper. Brooking getting that across. Robson was in there like a flash, and he scrambled it away past the far post. Little dummy, just dipped his shoulders beautifully there, and he's found Hales again. Now is Hales going to make something here? Went a long way, and in the end, it wasn't too difficult for Wallington. Brooking dipped his shoulders and found a bit of space before he found Derek Hales. Lampard again. Brooking, the scope of the marking man well. And Brooking going right on. Oh, he's going to go in there for a simple one. Trevor Brooking, one of these midfield players. As we were saying about Glenn Hoddle the other day, about a midfield man who gets his quota of goals, and Brooking was right in there looking for the goal then. And Wellington just saved it at the last minute because they might go through the books. Here come West Ham again. You get the feeling that West Ham really should have scored one or two more than they have done. They're 2-0 up. Leicester look quite demoralised at the moment, and the chances are there that West Ham just at the moment aren't taken. Brooking, Kelly after him. Devonshire wide, that's a lovely cross there. And Cross going in! And David Cross gets his first goal for West Ham. You don't have to look to see who made it. David Cross knows because he's got over there to say to Trevor Brooking, thank you for that. A lovely piece of play again by Brooking. And Cross diving in at the far side. A funny old bounce that took it just up under the crossbar. West Ham United 3, Leicester City 0. Davis. Kelly. Kemba on the far side. That's the one that finds him. Nicely played by Kelly, that one. That's a good-looking cross. Oh, and it's right in the back of the net. Steve Kemba has called one back for Leicester City, and Bobby Ferguson will be the unhappy man about that one. That looked a long, aimless sort of cross come centre. And Ferguson, you can see, hitting himself there. That long, aimless centre. And in fact, it goes over Ferguson's head into the back of the net. Well, is that going to be the start of a Leicester City comeback? Roger Davis hit that well. Oh, that was a beautiful save. A little word of congratulations from Billy Hughes. That was nice to see. What a great save by Bobby Ferguson, because Roger Davis hit that superbly. It was going in just under the crossbar until up went the fist of Bobby Ferguson, and it was safe for West Ham. So a corner for Leicester. George Armstrong with it. Sims right in there. And it's a goal! And a second one then for Leicester City. Steve Sims is the man who scored it. And suddenly we've got quite a different game. The man who scored it obviously half knocked himself out as he did so. But from that corner by George Armstrong, Sims got up so well. And Bobby Ferguson was beaten again. Played gently for Billy Bonds. Last thing in the world West Ham want to do is to drop a point here to bottom club Leicester City. Free kick for West Ham. Played now for Ferguson. Back for Devonshire. Oh, looks like he might get round Rowe. That's a nice cross as well. And Hales was right in there, but it was just too high. Chances are there still for West Ham, judging by that, the way that Devonshire got round behind the Leicester skipper, Dennis Rowe. Lovely cross coming in again, Cross getting there, and it's a corner. Could well be that West Ham's troubles are over, because by the time this corner's taken, I think it'll be just about time for the final whistle. Trevor Brooking is the man who's going to take it. Devonshire playing it for Brooking again. Oh, he slipped. But it's no good for Leicester. The final whistle has gone. Their tremendous comeback has been halted. Trevor Brooking, absolutely marvellous again for West Ham throughout that 90 minutes. Maker of 2 of the goals, and always a problem for Leicester City. Leicester in trouble from the word go when McDowell scored the first goal. Hales had another one before half-time. David Cross got his first goal for West Ham. But suddenly 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes by Kemba and by Sims put Leicester right back in that game.
Quite a day then for West Ham's Bobby Ferguson yesterday, although he looked very much at fault, I must say, with that first Leicester City goal. which was a point I raised with him afterwards. But first, what did Bobby Ferguson think about his comeback day?
I was pleased we got 2 points, Brian. I found it very hard. Coming back after 4 years out, I was a bit nervous, tight. Then...
You were nervous before the start?
Yes, I was a bit too tight, yeah. I only relaxed when we went 3-0 up, then one sailed over my head into the back of the net and the tightness came back again, so I was pleased to get out of the way.
How did you feel about the one? What, from Steve Kemble, wasn't it?
Yeah, it hit a cross-come shot. It was a difficult cross, but I should have put it away, no trouble, so down to me.
Mind you, you put away, you very modestly, you put away a tremendous save from Roger Davis just afterwards.
Well, that was easy enough. It was straight at me and dipping a bit, so...
Why is it keepers always say that, don't they?
Well, the easiest ones.
Yeah? But why were you a bit that nervous before the start? I mean, is there such a big difference in playing in reserve football and coming out to do this?
Well, I've been playing reserve now for about 3.5 years or something, and I'd won 2 games. And yeah, it's just the whole atmosphere, the build-up from Friday onwards, and just that nibbles at your stomach and butterflies setting in and the nerves creeping. I was nervous, no question, yeah.
How did you feel when John Lyle told you that you were playing today?
Good, it felt good then, but that's when the nerves started, yeah. I was pleased to get a game.
Did you sleep well last night, for example?
Well, I watched the late-night film to about 1:30 and had a late night and slept late this morning.
How do you feel, I mean, the goalkeepers union and so on, I mean, it's been a tough week for Mervyn Day, been a tough few weeks for Mervyn.
Oh, yeah, of course it has, yeah. I feel, yeah, I've been through exactly the same way as Mervyn's been through. When I first came here years ago, I got stick as well, and Mervyn's getting it now. But there's nothing you can do. You can only keep fit and play through it, and it'll come back. There's no question the confidence will come back to him. What
did you feel about the side today overall, the West Ham performance?
I felt we were cruising until 3-0 up. We were playing very well. You know, it should have been 5. But as soon as they scored a goal, then I think a few anxieties creep in. Everybody wants to get rid of the ball far too quickly and just pass it in, get 100 mile an hour. And we just get it, hold it, play it about. Sure. I'm sure that would help.
But first, it's important relegation action from West Ham, needing every point they can get, now facing Derby County.
Such a critical afternoon then for this West Ham team, led out today by Frank Lampard, because Billy Bonds twisted an ankle in training on Wednesday and is unfit. Just one more problem for the team that's had to win today to keep a finger hold on its First Division status. And pitched into the crisis is Alvin Martin, 18 years old from Liverpool, who made his first full appearance last week in the victory at Leeds and scored. This then is the West Ham side with Devonshire, Pike, Hales, Alan Taylor and Jennings, as well as Bonds, all missing, but with David Cross returning to the attack after suspension and Lampard himself returning after missing the game at Leeds. They face a Derby County side that has Scotland captain Bruce Rioch back after injury, and he's likely to be joined in the midfield by defender David Nish. So many injury problems he's had this season. Indeed, he's making his second comeback of the season. But this is a team that has not won away from home since December. And in that Derby side, Charlie George reports in a newspaper today that Derby have turned down an offer of £400,000 for the former Arsenal star from Leeds United. The referee today is Tom Reynolds, who comes from Wiltshire, and now we're ready for the start. So it's Derby County who kick off, attacking the goal to our left in white shirts, black shorts, red socks, West Ham in their claret and blue, and here's Frank Lampard. West Ham, who've won 4 out of their last 5 games to give themselves a good deal of hope of staying in the First Division. Indeed, they lie 18th now, which, believe it or not, is their highest position since September. But they've been in the bottom 5 all season. Derby in 13th place, really just going through the formality of the last fortnight or so of the season and thinking now more of a summer break and next season. Martin turning it back to Bobby Ferguson. David Cross, 1 hat-trick here this season. 7 in all. And the ball kicked away by Steve Buckley. I'm sure Luton fans will remember him. And a throw for West Ham, which Pat Holland will take. Brooking. The ball still in play. Derby claimed that was out. Robson right in there. Will he get a touch? No, he's shadowed by Todd. And Todd, in fact, gets it away to Rio. Long sweeping pass now for Charlie George. Steve Powell. McFarland. Here's Nish in the midfield. Langan. Powell. Back from McFarland. Bound to be a certain edginess about West Ham in these opening minutes. But here's David Cross, who's given it away. Maybe a sign of that edginess, and he got a second chance and found Brooking with it. There's Brooking now, trying to get Holland on his way. Buckley coming back across the face of that Derby County goal. For the want of a touch, West Ham could have been in the lead. Kerbishley was right in there. It was Brooking who sent Holland on his way. Holland, in fact, getting round Buckley well, but nobody to finish it off. Tommy Taylor with the throw. Trevor Brooking now. Crossed in, could be interesting towards David Cross, and fisted away by Middleton, not very far. Powell losing out on it. Claims for a handball there. They tossed it in, and it's there by Robson. A goal for West Ham. 4.5 minutes gone. Exactly the start West Ham wanted to cool their nerves. They claimed there was handball inside the box on the far side. The referee waved it on. The cross came in while Derby maybe was still waiting, and Brian Robson was in there to head it beyond Middleton. West Ham 1, Derby 0. Bill Green and Charlie George underneath one. It's Green to Kerbishley to Lampard. Holland again. Buckley staying very close. And Holland, well, Rioch was there to support him, but West Ham getting possession. Robson for Brooking. Tommy Taylor scorching down that left flank. What a good run by Taylor, but the flag is up for offside. It will not count. But nonetheless, a remarkable run out of defence by Tommy Taylor. And as the ball was played through there, it nicked, I thought, off a Derby player, but the linesman was already flagging, and Tommy Taylor, although he put it past Middleton, was offside. Robson getting in behind again, but the header hadn't got enough power to reach David Cross. Rioch. Nish. Bill Green up well, Kerbishley helping it. Good piece of play, good teamwork again by West Ham. Lampard. Cross has found a yard or two beyond McFarland. Now can Holland get in there again? Played back for Cross, and a goal by David Cross. 2-0 for West Ham. 22.5 minutes gone. Pat Holland, the architect again. Why, he really should smile, and so should David Cross. Holland it was down the right. It came across, and David Cross showed great presence of mind. He held it for a moment, saw the gap, put it wide of Middleton's right hand, and West Ham are 2 into the lead. Now, and he's onside. Robson and Brooking getting in there. Holland right in there too. Oh, and Robson jumped so hard to get to that one, but couldn't quite make it. Cross with the centre. Robson with a jump. And here's the ball coming in again. And Middleton catching it. Oh, and there's trouble there. That really is just carrying on from where it left off a matter of 2 or 3 minutes ago, when Roy McFarland had a go at David Cross when they both jumped for the ball and both landed onto the ground. McFarland had a go at Cross after the ball had gone, and it looks as though the ripples from that are still to be seen. As Masson now takes it towards the West Ham penalty area. Charlie George back for Steve Buckley. Here's Jerry Daly for the first time really on this side of the field. The cross coming in there, and Rush with a chance to get it away. Todd read that well. McFarland played on quickly there for Powell. Accurately now for Masson. And accurately too for Daly. Green calling Ferguson in. his boot, in fact. Well, he may have lost that boot, but he's won a penalty. As he went, no, it's not a penalty. Well, blow me, that's a foot outside the box. It looked to me as though it was inside, and so it's not a penalty. Martin keeping his eye on the ball there well, although Charlie George jumped ahead of him. And Brooking just dinking that on nicely now for Brian Robson. Left foot shot across the face of that goal again, and once more, if Pat Holland had just been a couple of yards further on, Robson whacking that in a ground shot across the face of the goal. And Holland was really, what, 2 yards back? Otherwise it would have been a simple tap-in. Daly. Nish. That's going to be a Derby throw. Oh, bit of space there for Langan. Will he make good use of it? Played back for Masson, hit straight at Lampard. Now Buckley. Now Rioch. First up, nice cross coming in. Martin not getting it, a chance for Nish to line up a shot into the side netting. They were all over the place there, really for the first time in the game in defence, West Ham. And when that ball finally came back across, it was young Alvin Martin who couldn't quite reach it, and it looked a heaven-sent opportunity for David Nish. Lined it up, but it went into the side netting. Brooking crossed it just by the byline. David Cross on the far side, heading it back again. Oh, good heavens above, how did that fail to go in? Colin Todd completely missing his kick on the line. Brooking, as if by magic, getting that ball over before it crossed the byline. Cross at the far post, heading it back again, and just look how close as Todd misses his kick. Cross couldn't keep it in, a Derby throw. Brooking crashed through him there well. A little pass inside for Robson, hit first time! Number 3. That might just about make it safe, completely so for West Ham. The mistake, though, was by Roy McFarland. And once McFarland had made that mistake, Brooking was onto it. A delightful little pass there for Robson. And Robson finished it off. Brooking. Bukowski played straight to Nish, though. Oh, and he got it back again. Cross. Tommy Taylor there. Lampard making ground on the right. Oh, that's a corner. Bukowski, he's been on about 5 minutes now. Sub with his socks already down. Just outside that Derby penalty area. As Tommy Taylor hits that corner low. Oh, and a brilliant save by Middleton from Martin. Well, young Alvin Martin, who scored at Leeds last week, must have thought he was on the score sheet again. Taylor's corner hit in low. Martin got a good, powerful header in, and a lovely piece of goalkeeping by Middleton. Will it be a last blast for Derby? Buckley with the cross, Ferguson with the catch, the referee with the whistle, and West Ham with 2 points. Brian Robson, 2 goals. The first one was so important for West Ham after only 4 minutes. The one in the second half by him was really just confirming the way the afternoon was going, with David Cross having scored the second for West Ham after 22 minutes of the first half. 2 priceless points for West Ham. Just how priceless, well, only the next fortnight or so will tell.
But first of all, it's action from the second division game between West Ham and Newcastle. West Ham lying 5th in the table at the start of the day, but only 2 points gathered in from the last 6. Newcastle have slipped to 15th. So here we go then. If you've ever dreamt of leading out a professional team, here's a Billy Bonds-eye view of it as he led West Ham out yesterday. Down that corridor, there's the crowd as they go out onto the pitch.
So for Phil Parkes, that £500,000 man from Queen's Park Rangers, it's been a good start at West Ham. He's conceded only 3 goals in his first 5 games and none in the last 2, though goal scoring has suddenly become West Ham's problem. They have failed to score in their last 3 games, and Brian Robson will be keener than most to put that right now against his old club Newcastle United. Here's how West Ham line up today then, with an unchanged side. The bulk of the goal scoring, of course, has come from Brian Robson with 22 and David Cross with 17. But once again, West Ham will be looking for control in the midfield from Trevor Brooking and Alan Devonshire in particular. Jeff Pike is their substitute today. Meanwhile, Newcastle's season, well, it's almost collapsed in ruin. They were lying 6th in December with an eye to promotion, but now they've slipped to 15th, having lost 5 of their last 6 games. Today, though, John Bird comes back after injury to their defence, and their most successful striker remains the former Nottingham Forest man, Peter With. So there's a bit of strength right through the central areas today. John Bird, in fact, the number 5 there, has missed the last 2 games through an ankle injury. And Peter With, their top scorer with 9 goals, to add to one he scored for Forest in the Charity Shield at Wembley at the start of the season. The referee today, it's Don Biddle of Bristol, and it's a gusty wind here at Upton Park, but bright sunshine as well for the crowd to enjoy. So West Ham get us away, attacking the goal to our left in claret and blue shirts and white shorts. Newcastle in their familiar magpie strip. Their black and white stripes and black shorts. And indeed, Newcastle have got a good record here. They've won 5 of the last 8, though Alan Devonshire, who's having a marvellous season in the midfield for West Ham, will hope that he and his teammates can do something about that this time. Here's Brooking. Another throw for West Ham. And in fact, it's Devonshire there by the byline. The cross coming in, and they had a lot of trouble getting that away. And Bonds turning it back in there. Hardwick with a save, but the flag was up for offside. And the referee, in fact, is ignoring that. It was a good, well-struck shot by Billy Bonds there through a crowd of players. But Devonshire starting it well there, headed away to Billy Bonds. And when he cracked it there, he held it well, the keeper. And a chance for Hibbett and Martin also behind there to see whether they can pierce this West Ham wall. In fact, it's Hibbett. A tremendous shot. Oh, and a body beautifully behind him from Phil Parkes. What a beautifully struck ball, though, by Hibbett. As Martin runs over it, whack. Caught beautifully by the man who took it and by the man who caught it as well. Now it's McDowell for West Ham. Now to go a long way. Can he do something with it? Well, here's Devonshire quickly on that one. Devonshire all the way through. And a goal. Beautifully placed. West Ham's goal with 20 minutes gone. A superb piece of cool thinking by Alan Devonshire. And the joy that says it all. From Billy Bonds there as well. Although it seemed to come a little luckily his way in the first place, he really took command there. And then his brain worked for him there as he slid it inch perfect inside the far post. West Ham 1, Newcastle United 0. As it is at the moment, Brownlee bringing it forward for Newcastle. Cut out by Brush. Played on again by Robson for Brooking. Brooking playing it in for Robson. Oh, my word, a beautiful goal. Robson against his old club, but a goal of classic proportions. Here's the man who made it with that beautiful move inside, and how Brian Robson clouts it into the roof of that Newcastle net. 2 goals in 2 minutes, and West Ham are in the clear. Alvin Martin. Devonshire. Nicely cut out there by Mitchell, although Cross gets in there and completes the pass for Lampard. Onto the right foot, good cross by Lampard. Robson having it knocked off his head, though, by Brownlee. McDowell trying to turn it in there. Brownlee behind for the West Ham corner. Good, skillful play that by West Ham. Nice, simple passing, accurate as well. Brooking. It's a good cross too. Fisted away though. Lampard turning it back, deflected in. Lampard will claim it, number 3. And Hardwick, no chance at all with that. Brooking's cross coming in, and in fact the keeper fisting it away there, only as far as Lampard. And yes, quite a deflection, I think probably off Peter With. Now it's Robson. Linesman flagging furiously in the referee's eye line, and of course the referee is signalling to his linesman to say, yes, I saw it, but I thought we should let it go on. Last word always with the ref. Brush with the header. Cross trying to get in there. Nicely touched by Cross there for Brooking. And Holland battling away there. Brooking with the header again. Skillfully played for Holland. Robson's right in there. Holland's going on. Forced a little wider than he wanted to go. Brush coming up in support of him. And McDowell in there! Number 4! Well, the goals are here for the taking this afternoon. And McDowell took that one superbly to the delight of the young West Ham fans. In fact, Holland had been pushed a little wider than I thought he wanted to be. But just look how unmarked McDowell as he comes in, and his aim was sure just inside the post. Agony again on the face of the keeper. And West Ham now leading by 4 goals to 0. Mind you, with due deference to the likes of Alan Devonshire and Jeff Pike and so on, in midfielders, West Ham, John McDowell too, West Ham never really function quite so well when Brooking's not there. But they've got a free kick here. The news is that it apparently is just a strain that he's got. A free kick for West Ham. And Cross couldn't get there. Robson into the side netting. Well, there was enough venom about West Ham there. With McDowell taking that free kick there, curling away from the keeper all the time. Cross couldn't quite get the touch that mattered. Robson did, but couldn't make it count into the side net. With Hibbett. And Brush following the flight of that ball well, but brought down by shoulder. Linesman and referee in agreement that it should be a free kick to West Ham. Well, we've had one ankle sprain already. Well, a certain amount of confusion reigning at the moment. Not helped by Billy Bonds there. No, we're all right. Cross. Pike getting in there, and Bird putting some of the West Ham patrons in danger with that hefty clearance into the stand. A throw for West Ham. Jeff Pike with it. Devonshire. Pike again. And then a fall for McDowell. Hit well. Oh, a beautiful goal by McDowell. Well, that really is getting a goal out of nothing. Number 5 and the second for John McDowell. All this season he hasn't scored for the first team, and now 2 in this one game, and the 5th for West Ham. Look how he takes it. There's hardly a chance here, and on the half volley, whack with the left foot, and just creeping in off the post. 5-0. Walker with the corner. Lampard's header, and Devonshire helping it on to Holland. Alan Devonshire again. Cross has gone forward. Bonds has made a really surging run. Onside for Pat Holland. Bonds waiting in the middle. Oh, and he missed. But what a goal that would have been, and how a man who's run 50 yards in the way that Billy Bonds did, how he deserved it. The look of disappointment there. The crowd are applauding, and a word, at least a sign for Holland to say thank you for that cross. What a break by Billy Bonds. And here's Holland in the clear, onside. He played it in early, and Bonds was right there. What a goal that would have been. But it wasn't to be. And they're bringing on Kenny Wharton now. And it's Nigel Walker who's going off. So here's Kenny Wharton, just 18 years old, his first game in the first team, and just 1 week after, as an 18-year-old, he was married. So it's been quite a 7 days for Kenny Wharton. It seemed to Newcastle as though they've been playing all day, I would think. Lampard away. And Pike to pick up the loose ball. Robson's touch. And Devonshire resisting the challenge there of Hibbett. Now for Holland, for McDowell. Well, it's been his afternoon, but it was never going to be that good. He's looking for a hat-trick, but that really was optimism of the highest order, I think, to try a blasting curler from that sort of position. Didn't quite fall for cross. McDowell played on for cross, and for McDowell again. A little more determination there about West Ham when they went for that one, and that's why they won that particular ball. And determination there from young Kenny Wharton. There's Wharton, number 12, but it's Hibbett finding Martin. Here's Wharton again, played in there towards shoulder. Connolly deeper this time towards Peter With on the far side, played back for Kenny Hibbett, played in for Martin, and a shot straight at Phil Collins. As the final whistle goes, and a comprehensive victory there for West Ham. As the referee gathers up the ball, which is something that Newcastle couldn't do all that often this afternoon. John McDowell with 2 goals, and he went looking for another one as well. Alvin Martin had a good game at the back, though, for West Ham. And Billy Bonds probably as big an inspiration to them as anybody else.
Well, an important win for West Ham, and indeed the only blot on the day for them was that injury to Trevor Brooking. Well, that's not the happy sight for West Ham fans, with Trevor Brooking's right foot with a gym shoe on, and also with the sticks there as well, and an ankle that's very heavily strapped. What is the latest news on it, though, Trevor?
Well, I just went right over on it, Brian. It's come up a bit, so they've strapped it up. And they've given me these just to keep the weight off it. Yes. And I'll go in and see a physio.
What's your feeling? How serious? I mean, you've had 1 or 2 ankle problems. Before.
Yeah, funnily enough, it's the other ankle this time. Yeah, just to round it off. I had a left ankle, and then yeah, that's been fine. And then I had flu, and so they say things come in threes, and that's just about rounded it off, I think. Yeah,
but I mean, next week you're going to have a home game, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah, at present it's probably early to say, but I would think it must be doubtful, and the way it's come up, but. You keep your fingers crossed and see how things come.
So, Trevor Brooking doubtful, in his own words, for West Ham's next home game, which is against Leicester City next Saturday. West Ham with 5 games to come at home and 7 away, but not one of those 12 games is against any of their promotion rivals. It's by no means a bad run-in to the end of the season for them. The Newcastle manager, Bill McGarry's, had to reshape his whole side this season, but he told me he also saw a change of another sort in West Ham.
Well, I said beginning of the season when they came to our place that they're a good side because they've got some good young kids coming through. And they had the experience of being in the First Division last year, and I think they've benefited from that. And I think they're a good side, and he's bought a goalkeeper now, which they were always short of anyway, we all know that. But they are more determined, and these 3 midfield players, plus the centre-half did quite well, I thought. But they're shutting people down. They don't give you time to play. At one time, you had plenty of time to play against West Ham, and at times, you know, you sat in the stand, people like myself, oh, well, I could play against them. But now it's a different kettle of fish. They're shutting people down, and I think they're a fair side, and I think they're the best side we've played.
Yes, I think the big factor is away from home. You know, at home I think we've had a fairly good record, but when we travel there's always been criticism. We go past the Watford gap and we're liable to lose 2 points. But I think the last few weeks we've battled, like last week at Preston we got a 0-0 draw, and I think since Phil's come into the team we've had 4 blank sheets out of 6.
Yes.
And certainly the defence are playing just as an important part as the forwards, and although we scored 5 today, their display at the back of no goals was just as important.
I think they'll get promoted. I said they'll get promoted beginning of the season because they more or less had a side from last year to continue this year. Unlike myself, who probably got 1 player, 2 players left from last year, have had to rebuild. They've got almost the same squad of players, and consequently, plus of course they've got Trevor Brooking, yes, who's a hell of a good player. I don't think he looks as good as he is, and but he shields the ball. And I stuck young Walker on him, and he did quite well. But I think basically Brooking's a very good player and a very good man to have in your side. And when he's got Devonshire, and this McDowell boy's not a bad player too.
Yeah, I think looking at it at the moment, with the results going as they are, possibly we're the fringe side at the moment. Yeah, we're in about 4th spot, and we've got to rely on the 3 above just to slip up a little bit. But I'd like to see us go up, because I think possibly the team's developing into a side that could do better in the first than we've done in recent seasons. And I think we are good enough to go up. But we've just got to hope that the other 3 let us in.
Day job just yet. Come on, buddy. We're going to bed. Oh. From carrying wood and all that kind of stuff and just having no food, I'm just so exhausted that just to even try to pull yourself up on something, you know, and I'm a big guy, it's hard. Oh, man.
It's quite a difficult one for him because he had to use a lot of his upper body, his arms and stuff, which he found quite difficult, I think. He came back and he just zonked on his bed, and he's been like that pretty much